Hey, 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 friend, what's going on? What's happening? How is your world today? Awesome, I hope. And yes, I know the world is crazy, right? It's brrr. So every time I think it can't get crazier, there you go. So don't ask if it can get crazier because it can, okay? So I want to talk to you tonight about why you should always, always, always pay attention to what's going on, okay? And I'm going to give you 3 excellent reasons. So I'm Steve Devon, appreciate you checking this out. So here they are. The first example is from my run this afternoon. Okay, so when I always run on the left side of the road, right? Just like you're supposed to walk facing traffic, you're supposed to run facing traffic, at least that's what I'm told. And so that's what I do. And it has the added benefit of I can always see when there's somebody coming towards me who is in the lane that is closest to me, if you understand what I'm saying. Here's my rule, okay? When I see a car coming that's coming towards me, I get off the road if there's any way possible, and it's almost always possible. So I get off of the road, right? And not only get off the road, I try to get at least 5 or 6 feet off the road. So, because that person coming towards me is going to be relatively close to me when they get beside me, right? And in case they're not paying attention and they happen to run a little bit off the road, I want to be out of the way, right? So I get good and off the road. That's the first thing. The second thing is when I hear somebody coming up behind me, I get off the road too, right? Because I always worry that some crazy person might be trying to pass them or something, you know. I mean, I almost always run in a residential neighborhood, but still, you never know. So today I'm running, boom, 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 not very fast, but I'm running. And I hear a car coming behind me. I get off of the road, right? I hear the car getting closer and closer, and it sounds closer than usual. You know what I'm saying? And so I look over kind of behind me, and sure enough, the person is way closer than they normally are. Now they weren't about to come off the road, but they were. If I would have been on the road, they would have been really close to me. So I went like, whoa, and looked, and sure enough, the person had their cell phone in their hands looking at it. And so I was glad I was paying attention, right? So that's the first example. Always pay attention when you're running, okay? The second one is, and this happened a couple years ago. I was in Fayetteville, where I was born and raised, but now we live in another town. But that's where I work. I work in Fayetteville, and I'm a newspaper reporter, writer. And sometimes when I go on assignments, I'm with a photographer, and we're in the same car. That doesn't happen often because usually we have other assignments, that we're going to that aren't the same. But in this instance, a photographer and I cruising along Rayford Road. If you know Fayetteville, Rayford Road, busy street, okay? We were coming up on this other road and we were turning right, and we had a free-flowing right turn, right? There was a stoplight there, but we don't have the light. We just get to keep booking, right? And so we're in the far right lane, and we're talking, and he's talking to me, and, looking over, occasionally. Well, here's my rule. When I am riding in a car, I do my best to pay attention as if I'm driving, right? So, we're talking, and I look, and this car that is at a dead stop pulls right in front of us. You know, we just barely miss them. And the photographer says to me, because I said, when I saw the car, I said, look out! You know, and we missed them just barely. And the photographer says to me, man, if you wouldn't have said something, we would have definitely been in a wreck. Okay, now, it probably wouldn't have been a bad wreck, but it would have been a wreck. You know, any wreck, not good as far as I'm concerned. So, I was glad I was paying attention. So, pay attention. Okay, so that's the second example. The third example, okay, this week, right at the start of the week, this past week, I found out that the company that I work for, everybody has to take a furlough week for 1 week each, 1 week for each of the next 3 months. So basically, for one of the 4 weeks of each of the next 3 months, an unpaid week off, right? Now, that's not a good thing as far as getting paid correctly. Correct. So each of the next 3 months, my pay went down at least 25%, right? So not a good thing. Around that same time, now a lot of you know I have a little bit of an entrepreneurial spirit. I mean, I'm not like crazy entrepreneurial, but I am, you know, I've been in business for a long time. A kind of a side gig. I've had a side gig, I'll say that for a number of years. And so a friend of mine, right, I mean, almost at the same time, a friend of mine, his name's Chris Hester, great guy. We're kind of kindred spirits, I guess. And so he reached out to me and he said, hey man, I found this new opportunity. You got to check it out. All right. Now, I'm perfectly happy where I was. Perfectly happy. And I told him, I said, man, the only way I do that is bailing on what I was currently doing. And that ain't going to happen. But, you know, kind of honestly, kind of out of courtesy, you know, I said, okay, I'll check it out. All right. So I checked it out, right? And I'm looking at it. I mean, he sent me some videos to watch. And so I'm watching the first one, and I'm like, I sent him a message, and I was going like, something like, dude, this is pretty awesome. Watch the next one. Man, this is exactly what I was looking for, and I didn't even know it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of you know that I've been on like kind of a health and wellness journey for a while. About 6 or 7 years. And the interesting thing is at the start of this year, at the start of 2020, I decided, actually I was watching a video and the guy on the video said, why don't you decide to make this the year that you get healthier than you've ever been? And I said, that is a great idea. And so I kind of, I was doing what I could, right? Man, everything in this is just exactly what I needed. I mean, it's like it couldn't be designed any better for me if I did it myself. So it's just like, I'm telling you, I'm crazy excited about it. And I just kind of don't know what to say about it. So I am full bore, and it's working out perfect that this is a time when I need some extra money. And it's just, I mean, like I say, sometimes the timing just, you know, sometimes, in my opinion, God works out the things that in your life that you need at just the right time. And that is exactly what has happened this time. So I'm glad I was paying attention. I'm glad I did not tell Chris, dude, just leave me alone. I don't need this. So pay attention, because you never know when something great is going to come into your life. And like I say, just pay attention, folks, because good things are all around you, even in these chaotic times that we are living in. And I know in these times there's a lot of people who are in need of making, some extra bucks. So if you're one of those people, or if you know somebody, I'd be glad to share with you what I'm doing. So just reach out to me, and I'll be glad to do that. And like I say, folks, just pay attention in life, even when you're isolated, even when you're under a stay-at-home order or shelter-in-place or whatever it is. So, cause great things are happening, and I can feel it, and I hope you can too. So that's it for now, and thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to catching you the next time. And always remember, in the immortal words of Winnie the Pooh, that you are braver than you believe, you're stronger than you seem, and you're smarter than you think. Bye.